The Dodgers' biggest weakness has been exposed in Game 2 of the NLDS against the San Diego Padres. And I'm here to tell you how the Dodgers can fix that and hopefully win this series. Hey, this is Mike Nelson of Dodgers Digest. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I want to thank the almost 12% of the ones that are watching these videos have already hit the subscribe button. But 87% of the ones that are watching have not hit the subscribe button. You know, we're getting about thousands of people watching now these videos. And myself and Brad J are bringing you everyday videos on our Dodgers, as of course we hope to make it to the 2024 World Series. But we got a goal of reaching 2,000 before that time comes. So make sure to hit the subscribe button. Tell your Dodger friends. Tell your baseball friends. We have a great channel here for Digest Media, and I think you're enjoying it as well. Comment below and tell me what you think of the channel. So let's get right into it. Of course, the Dodgers had a really difficult loss tonight, losing 10-2 in Game 2 of the NLDS. Of course, the series is now tied, unfortunately. And it was a rough game to say the least, right? It was a rough game. It was one of the worst losses, if not the worst loss for the team. I don't the stats wise, probably wasn't the worst, but I'm just talking about in terms of the emotions and just the what it means, right? I mean, this loss means a lot to the Dodgers. It's a big win, to say the least, for San Diego, right? This is a huge win for them. And the Dodgers are in a really tough spot because they, of course, had a big comeback win in Game 1 of this series yesterday. And today, they were once again trailing early. Down 3-0 early. And they were in a tough spot right from the get-go. And the Dodgers never led in this game. And they were basically, as you would say, blown out, right? At home, 10-2, in a very emotional game. As you can see, a lot of fans are pretty upset, pretty angry. You saw, of course, some fans even, of course, throwing some debris on the field. There was a delay in the 7th inning. I have my theory on that delay. I do think fans kind of did it on purpose to try to get Yu Darvish out of the game. As we know, Yu Darvish was really on fire tonight. And probably some fans thought maybe we were going to delay this and kind of throw Yu off his game. It didn't work. As we know, Yu Darvish went in and closed out the 7th inning with no issues at all. And, what really, I think what really, pains Dodger fans, or at least myself as well, is that Yu Darvish, ends up pitching this amazing game, and he couldn't do it for us in 2017. I mean, I think that's what everybody is thinking about right now, on how Yu Darvish couldn't deliver this kind of game when it was actually needed by the Dodgers in Game 7 of the 2017 World Series. Sure, Houston was cheating. They, of course, cheated us of that World Series, but Yu Darvish did not bring his A game in Game 7 of that year. Ended up being, of course, his final game with the Dodgers, as he, of course, went to the Cubs in the offseason. But yeah, that's what I think angers a lot of fans, myself included, on why Yu Darvish could not deliver this kind of performance when he was wearing Dodger blue, and why he's doing this now. Basically, a pitcher that you would say is at the twilight of his career, basically at the end of his career. Been pitching professionally now for 19 years, and he delivers this kind of performance. I mean, there's been very few pitchers in Major League Baseball that have been able to shut down the Dodgers' offense like it happened tonight. Taking a look at the numbers, I mean, Ohtani went 0 for 4. Darvish had his way with him all night. Ohtani, by the way, is now, what is it? Has gone 2 for 9 in this series. 2 for 9, right? 2 for 5 yesterday, 0 for 4 today. So 2 for 9. Not great numbers. Of course, had the 3-run shot yesterday. That's a big highlight. But in terms of the whole overall stats, it has, of course, been a bit of a struggle, which is not a surprise because it is the playoffs. But the big story is Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts just cannot get a hit at all. And today, his luck was just not on Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts' side tonight was not. It was just not on his side because, as we know, he basically hit a home run early in this game, and Jurickson Profar stole that home run from him. Going into the crowd, making the catch. That was a big moment in this game. And what bothers me, and I think what bothers a lot of Dodger fans too, is that there has to be somebody wearing a glove nearby. If you're going to sit in the first or second row of the outfield, I'm bringing a glove. And those fans there did not bring a glove, and look what happened. So that was a big moment. You got it. I mean, he was in the crowd already. He went into the crowd. If a fan had caught that baseball, it wouldn't have been fan interference. And it could have changed this entire game. And that it's unfortunate nobody was able to make that play. Because sometimes you need the fans to make the play, right? Well, sometimes you don't, right? Steve Bartman, Cubs. He needed to stay out of the way there. But in this case, you want somebody to make that play or somehow interfere with Profar and not allow him to make that play, because that would have been a home run for Mookie Betts. It could have really changed things, just his whole psyche and just the way he's feeling right now. It could have changed a lot for him because he doesn't feel good right now about his game. You could see he's stressed out, and that's, of course, not what you want this time of year. Looking again at the box score, Freddie Freeman exited the game early, which is very bad news, because you start to wonder how healthy. We know he's not healthy, but now you wonder how bad is it. I mean, is he going to be able to be ready to go on Tuesday when Dodgers are going to really need him? There just wasn't much else to look at in terms of what was, there wasn't much else there, right? And then, of course, the big moment, second inning, the Dodgers have the bases loaded, nobody out, and are only able to get one run. That was a big moment. That changed the entire game, as they've talked about on the broadcast. John Smoltz and Joe Davis and everybody in the post-game crew talked about how that was a big moment for San Diego, for Yu Darvish, allowing just holding the Dodgers to one run there in the second inning, right? That was a big moment. Now let's talk a little bit about Jack Flaherty, who I've criticized before on the show, and I mean today he deserves some criticism. Didn't pitch well today. Charged with 4 runs. Of course, gives up a couple home runs today. Just wasn't good enough today. Jack Flaherty was not good enough. And that's, this is now 2 games in a row that Dodgers starting pitching does not bring their A game. Yamamoto, only lasted 3 innings. Sure, Flaherty did, of course, make it to the 6th inning, but come on, give up 4 runs. And that's just not going to cut it if you're going to be a World Series champion. You need to have more. You have to have better starting pitching. And that's the big concern moving forward, because now the Dodgers, as we know, are tied 1-1. And they're going to have to win at least one of the next 2 games in San Diego. They're going to have to win one of the next 2 games, right? And Landon Knack, Walker Buehler, we don't even know who's pitching the next game. Whoever pitches the next game, I mean, you gotta have something. You gotta have some sort of outing that's gonna be, good. You cannot go out there and give up 4 or 5 runs, and expect to win. And San Diego is, of course, a much tougher place to hit at, right? This is a much tougher, baseball stadium to hit at. The Petco Park's gonna be much more difficult to score runs, I would hope. You would hope. I mean, the weather is kind of warm, unfortunately, this time of year. It's been, it's not usually this warm in October, but it is kind of warm. But it is going to be cooler, of course, in San Diego. And it is going to be late starts, 6 p.m. local time, both of those games on Tuesday and Wednesday, respectively, 6 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. Maybe early in the innings, the ball is going to carry well. But once you reach 8 p.m., 8:30, the sun's already down. You hope that the marine layer comes in and it keeps the ball out from going. Look at today. The Padres had 6 home runs. And this team can hit home runs. The Dodgers can as well, but not right now with the way things are going. Really, Ohtani's the only one that's really doing that. It's going to be you're definitely got to be worried if you're a Dodger fan. And next game is going to be big, crucial. Gonna have to have some sort of pitching from somewhere, some sort of source is going to have to deliver. And you got to hope Ohtani gets hot. That's what I was thinking. Ohtani's got to get hot. He's got to have to hit some home runs. He's going to have to carry this team in this series, at least through this series, right? I don't even want to think about the NLCS. That's going to be a whole different animal. The NLDS, I think Ohtani can carry this team through this series if he can get hot. After that, I don't know. But you just hope Ohtani can get hot in the next few games and win 2 of the next 3 games. That's all you can hope for. It's going to be difficult, though, that's for sure. So, make sure to subscribe. And as always, let's go Dodgers.